ॐ ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती जयपताका स्वामिनिति नामने नमो आचार्यपदाय निताय कृपाप्रदायिने गौरकथा धामदय नगरग्राम तारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Prabhu, my voice is audible, no?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, yes. So Hare Krishna everyone. Wishing you all a very happy Krishna conscious New Year. I'm so happy and grateful that at the very beginning of the year, I'm given an opportunity to glorify the names and pastimes of the Lord. You can see my screen.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, sir.
So my heartfelt gratitude to His Grace Premadatta Chaitanya Prabhu and His Grace Swami Raghunath Prabhu for providing us this platform and giving us, all of us, an opportunity to purify ourselves. And I humbly pray at the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas who are attending this session. Please pray for me and bless me so that I don't make any flaws in delivering the session. And if at all there are any mistakes, please forgive me and rectify me without any hesitations. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So today's session is on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 15, the appearance and coronation of Prithu Maharaj. So Chapter 15, it is a very brief chapter which comprises of almost 25 to 26 verses. And that too, I think some 8 verses has a purpose, that too very small purpose. So before we begin the main discussion, I would like to provide a brief prelude of the events leading up to this chapter, because I think it's almost 2 weeks that since we had our last session, right? Okay, sorry. So this chapter, I told you, it discusses briefly on the appearance and coronation of King Prithu, who is incarnation of Lord himself, who advented to protect humanity. So we were discussing on how Vidura has been hearing these beautiful descriptions of the descendants of Uttanapada Maharaj and from Maitreya Muni. So then comes the story of Dhruva Maharaj, who was son of Uttanapada and Sumiti. So after Dhruva Maharaj, the lineage continues like that, and with the descendants, the lineage comes like that. And Dhruva Maharaj had 2 sons. One was Utkala and the other is Vatsara. So Utkala, right from his childhood, he was very detached. He was so equipoised, and he used to act like a dumb person. So people thought that he was an idiot. He had least inclination towards any administrative responsibility or any political affairs. So, since he didn't show any interest in the kingdom, the second son, Vatsara, he becomes the king. No, he is given the kingdom, and the lineage follows like that. And Chakshusha Manu appear in the same lineage, which is generations later. And then comes King Anga, who is the grandson of Chakshusha Manu. So now what happens is Anga marries Sunita, who is the daughter of Mrityu, which is who is death personified. He's the personification of death. So after the marriage for a very long time, they don't have any children, and later they perform some sacrifices, and a son is born to them, who is King Vena, right? So Vena um, since his mother, Sunita, she was the daughter of Mrityu, he actually inherits the quality of his maternal grandfather, who is Mrityu. So Vena, right from the childhood, he was a very ruthless person. No? He used to hurt his playmates and kill his playmates, throw them down, beat innocent animals. So he grew up as a very merciless person. So King Anga was so worried about him, and he tried his best to reform Vena, but all his attempts was becoming futile. Whatever, right from the beginning of his childhood, he tries to reform him, but whatever he was trying to rectify in the character of King Vena, everything turned out to be very futile. So he's so distressed, and he doesn't know what has to be done with this Vena. So here Prabhupada gives a beautiful analogy that a son born with good qualities is as good as a blind eye. Why a blind eye? Because a blind eye has no use of seeing, and on top of that, it is always unbearably painful also. So a son without any good qualities is like having a blind eye. So from a bad son arises sinful reputation, irreligion, quarrel, and endless anxiety. So who would value such a son who is cause of one's bondage and illusion and suffering? So King Anga contemplates like this, that it is better not to have a son. Then he again contemplates, thinking that it is better to have a bad son than a good son, because when you're having a good son, then again there are possibilities that you get attached to the son, all the familial affairs, and you get attached to material affairs. So he's thinking that it is better to have a bad son, because when you're having a bad son, that again becomes a reason to get a detachment from the material attachments of the universe. Okay, so he thinks like this. Since he's not able to reform him, one day he just gives up. He gives up the kingdom, he walks out of the kingdom, and he takes complete shelter of the Lord. So now sometimes we see that devotees are put in such difficult situations, right? We can take examples of many people from Bhagavatam itself. No, they are put in so much of a difficulty that these difficulties actually become an impetus for them to uh, develop detachment from the worldly affairs or the material attachments. For example, King Parikshit, when he was going through a very difficult and bad phase of his life, he just took shelter of the Lord. And not only that, even Vidura, who was handling administrative position in Hastinapur, one day he was just blasphemed so badly by Duryodhana that he gives up. He was asked to go out of Hastinapur. So he takes this as an opportunity to devote himself to the Lord, and he takes up a pilgrimage. That is how he comes, meets Maitreya Muni, and he gets spiritually nourished. So difficulties do arise, no? So this becomes an opportunity for great devotees like King Anga to detach himself from the material attachments of the world. So like that, he leaves the kingdom, and all the citizens, they search for King Anga but couldn't find him, and they were very disappointed, and they report the matter to the sages. So sages, when they saw that in the absence of King Anga, there were no one to protect the people, no one to protect the interest of the people. They understood that it will lead to the people becoming more independent and non-regulated. So they had a discussion with King Vena's mother, and there was no other option. Vena was the only heir of the kingdom, and they decided to enthrone him as the king. Even though they knew that he doesn't possess any good qualities to become a king, there was no other go, and King Vena was enthroned as the king. Now, King Vena, who's already atrocious in nature, he becomes too proud and too puffed up after becoming the king. So, by the virtue of his false prestige, he considered himself greater than anyone. No, that is a quality which is again the good quality of a king, a good quality, or a devotee king or a Raja Rishi. What he should consider, he should consider himself inferior than anyone. No, so he had this puffed up quality, thinking that he's greater than anyone in the universe. So what happened was he started to insult all great personalities. He forbid the Brahmanas to perform any kind of religious rituals and sacrifices. And he also retorted that all demigods reside in the body of the king. Even Lord Vishnu abide. He told that Lord Vishnu also abide in my body. So therefore, he alone should be worshipped. No, he ordered the sages to worship him with all the paraphernalia. So once when he started blaspheming the supreme personality of Godhead and considering himself as a god, the sages thought that it was just going out of hand and they couldn't bear it any more. So they sensed that such an impious ruler, he can be a threat to the future, and he can be cause of all irreligious activities, and he had the capability to ruin the whole universe. So they decide that um, they decide to vanquish him. They decide to kill him, and thus Vena is killed by the sages with the mantras. Okay, so when see, if you see, the sages were the people who actually enthroned Vena as the king. And since Vena exhibited bad qualities, all kind of unacceptable qualities for a king, they dethroned him and killed him as well. So Vena dies this way. And his mother, Vena's mother, was so grief-stricken that because he's her only son, no? So she was very grief-stricken, and what she does is she preserves the dead body of King Vena with lot of herbs and mantras. Now, so when they killed Vena, um, what happened is the situation is again back to square one. No, so there is no king now to rule the kingdom, and since Vena is dead, again there is a huge chaos created by the thieves and the rogues in the kingdom. No, they started tormenting the citizens. So only one good thing which happened during the atrocious rule of King Vena was that all the criminals, the thieves, and the dacoits, they were actually terrified of King Vena, because they knew if at all King Vena gets hold of them, then they may have to go through hell. So they were all like out of the picture. So after the death of King Vena, no, uh, after that, I mean, like after he was killed, the criminal elements made itself prominent again. So now the sages became more concerned, that the lineage, they believed that the lineage of King Anga, the lineage of Dhruv Maharaj, it should not come to an end. And they had to produce some personality. They were under the pressure to produce a personality from King Vena himself, right? So even though Vena died, his preserved dead body was there. So what they did is first they churned the thighs of the dead body, and they separated out all the contamination from Vena's body in form of a personality named as Bahuka. So there is a description of Bahuka towards the end of chapter 14, no? So Bahuka is this personality who comes out of the body of Vena when his thighs were churned. And he's described like the description of Bahuka is given like that he is black like a crow, and he had tiny limbs like short hands and short legs. His eyes were red, his nose was flat, and his jaws were white. Um, and his hairs were copper in color, and so he had a very ghastly appearance, no, very terrifying appearance. So when Bahuka came out, no, after his birth, immediately he took charge of all the karmas of King Vena's sinful activities. So, and he's also considered as the father of the Nishada race. Okay. So the bad portion, that is the inauspicious, sinful portion of Vena's body, which is the result of his mother's lineage, it was separated and churned out in the form of Bahuka. So now whatever is present from the side of Anga Maharaj, a pure devotee of the Lord, who is the descendant of the great King Dhruva, so they preserved it. That part is preserved, and they churned both the arms of King Vena. So now when they chant both the arms of King Vena, there appears, so from here chapter 15 begins, no? From the text 1 of chapter 15, it gives us the description of who came out of the body of King Vena when his two arms were churned. So the great sage Maitreya informs Vidura, thus the Brahmanas and the great sages again churned the two arms of King Vena's dead body, and as a result, a male and a female couple came out of his arms. So it was none other than King Prithu. Okay. So after King Venu's body was purified, a male and female come out of it, and the great sages, they could understand that this was the expansion of Lord Vishnu and his consort, goddess of fortune. And of course, it was not the Vishnu Tattva, but specifically empowered expansion of Lord Vishnu, known as the Avesha Avatar. Okay, so we see that whenever there is a decline in dharma, whenever irreligious activities no, happen in this universe, the God advent himself. Okay, like in Bhagavad Gita, Shloka 4.7 and 4.8, tells us 4.7, like Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bharata Abhyudhanama Dharmasya Tadatmanam Shrujamyaham. So whenever there is a decline in dharma, Lord appears either as a direct incarnation or as an empowered, who has the potency of the empowerment of the Lord. So King Prithu actually appeared as an empowered being. No, he's not Vishnu Tattva, but he is a Saktyavesh avatar of the Lord. So when King Vena's body is purified, the Supreme Lord himself had appeared from the body. How astonishing it is. King Vena was killed by the sages because of his abominable activities. And now here we see that the sages, they are capable enough of removing the sins of King Vena, and the Supreme Lord manifested from his body. So this is the effect of having sadhu Sangha. The sadhus were able to purify King Vena. He died, but still after his death, they purified his body and delivered him. So Now, text 2. Okay, it describes the method adopted by the great sages and scholars who were learned in Vedic knowledge. It was perfect. It was perfect. They removed all the reactions of King Vena's sinful activity, and Vena um, thus gave birth to a female and a male, no, out of his body. So they saw that the expansion of Lord Vishnu and goddess of fortune has appeared from the body of King Vena. They were very pleased to see that. He is none other than Prithu Maharaj. But as I was telling you, he's not the Vishnu Tattva, he's the Satyavesh avatar of the Lord. That is the expansion of the potency of the Lord. So Prithu Maharaj is not God, but a part and parcel of the Lord, is empowered to do certain activity. So he is called as Satyavesh Avatar. So here the Lord has empowered his Jiva Tattva, his Jiva to do a certain activity. So Prithu Maharaj is an expansion of his potency. Okay. So coming to text 4. No, before that, we will see there are 6 types of various incarnations of Lord Krishna. Like Purusha avatar, okay, then there is Leela avatars, there is Guna avatars, there are Manvantara avatars, Yuga avatars, and then there are Satyavesha avatars. So for example of Satyavesha avatar, we'll see some examples. Like here again, it is given that in text 4, the purport tells that there are different types of incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Shastras, it is said that Garuda, who is the carrier of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Ananta are very powerful incarnation of the Brahman feature of the Lord. Similarly, Indra, the king of heaven, is an incarnation of the lusty feature of the Lord, and Aniruddha is an incarnation of Lord's mind. Similarly, King Prithu is an incarnation of the ruling force of the Lord. Okay, so there are some more examples. What I have written it down, like Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma has been empowered to create the universe. So he is empowered with the Srishti Shakti of the Lord. And if you see the 4 Kumaras, they are empowered with Jnana Shakti. Jnana Shakti is they are empowered to distribute the transcendental knowledge. Then Narad Muni, he is empowered with the Bhakti Shakti, okay, and Lord Parashuram, is empowered with the Dushta Damana Shakti of the Lord, no, which is to kill or cut down the rogues and demons in the world. So here we have Maharaja Prithu, who has been empowered with the Palana Shakti of the Lord, which is to rule and to maintain the living entities. Okay, so so the sages here, they are the pure devotees of the Lord. So when the Lord appeared, they know for what purpose he had appeared and what is his name. So that they are telling in text 4 and text 5. Okay, so they know for what purpose the Lord has appeared, and they name him. So I am tu pratamo rajyanam puman pratitya yashasah tu pritur nama maharajo bhavishyati pritu shava. Okay, so the translation goes like this, like out of the two, the male, out of the two uh, embodiments who came out of King Vena, the male will be able to expand his reputation throughout the world, and his name will be Prithu Shava. He'll be known as Prithu, and he is the first among the kings. He will be called as the Adi Raja. Okay, and text 5 describes about the goddess of fortune. No, then regarding his wife, the sages tell that Itam cha Sudati Devi Guna Bhushana Bhushana Archinam Vara Rahu Pritum Eva Varundati. So the beautiful female embodiment, that is the goddess of fortune, who appeared from King Vena's body, it is told that her teeth is so beautiful beautiful that they actually beautify the ornaments what she is wearing. It is not because that ornament she is because of the ornaments that she is looking beautiful. She is so beautiful that the ornaments beauty is increasing because of her beauty. So her name will be Archie, and she will accept King Prithu as her husband. So these were the words of the sages. So if you see, the goddess of fortune has appeared with Maharaja Prithu. Why has she appeared? She has appeared to serve him. No, so by the potency of the Lord, goddess of fortune is also manifested here. So the reason is the goddess of fortune is she's never separated from Lord Vishnu. So in the material world, people only want Goddess Lakshmi. No, they want to serve Goddess Lakshmi and the favor from her. What is the favor? The wealth. But they don't understand that only by worshipping Lakshmi, she will not stay. She will not stay in one place because Lakshmi Devi is Chanchala. She will be stable only at the place where she is with Lord Narayana. So if someone wants to separate Lakshmi from Narayana, they are like Ravana, who wanted to separate Sita from Lord Mother Sita from Lord Ram. Eventually, what happens to them? They will vanquish. So similarly, if you also try to separate Goddess of Fortune from Lord Narayana, no, nothing is going to bear fruits. So, but if someone has a good amount of material wealth and engages it in the service of the Lord, then that money will stay with you. Okay. Lakshmi Devi won't leave them if the wealth has been engaged properly in the service of the Lord. So there ends text 5, and in text 6. Okay. In the form of King Prithu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has appeared through a part of his potency to protect the people of the world. And the goddess of fortune is constant companion of the Lord, and therefore she has incarnated partially as Arshi to become King Prithu's queen. So, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that whenever one sees an extraordinary power, no, they should come to a conclusion that a specific partial representation of Supreme Personality of God is present there. So this is, there are innumerable such personalities, but not all of them are direct Vishnu Tattva plenary expansion of the Lord. So here it is mentioned in the purport that King Prithu was such a Satyavesha avatar of Lord, and similarly Archie, King Prithu's wife, was a Satyavesha avatar of Goddess of Fortune. So now, since King Prithu has appeared, no, Maitreya Muni continues by telling that uh, at that particular time, all the Brahmanas, they praised and glorified King Prithu, and the best singers of Gandharva Loka, they chanted his glories. And the people who live in Siddhaloka, they showered flowers and beautiful women in the heavenly planet. They danced in ecstasy. Okay, so this shows how a righteous king is welcomed in the universe. So there were a lot of instruments which were playing like drums and bugles and conch shells. No, it vibrated in the outer space, and great sages, forefathers, and personalities from heavenly planets, they all came to Earth from various planetary systems to welcome Prithu Maharaj. Okay, so such auspicious occasion has taken place, and all the personalities are present there. Now, in text 9 and 10, we see that Lord Brahma arrives there. Lord Brahma, who is the master of the entire universe, he arrives there accompanied by all other demigods and their chiefs. Okay, so now he recognizes Prithu as an incarnation by seeing the divine marks on his body. So what were the divine marks what he had on his body? He bore the sign of Vishnu, like a club mark in his lotus feet, and he bared a sign of disc in his palms. So here, Srila Prabhupada, in this purport, he explains that there is a system by which one can detect an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of uh, Godhead. No? So nowadays it has become a fashion that every city and every country has an incarnation of God. There will be some people telling that I'm incarnation of the God. So Prabhupada clearly mentioned that before accepting someone as incarnation of God, one should verify his identity according to the symptoms mentioned in the Shastras. So without these symptoms, the pretender is subject to be killed by the authorities for pretending to be an incarnation of God. So when Krishna himself was present, there was a king, who declared himself as Vasudeva, and Lord Krishna himself killed him. So this indicated that whenever you are recognizing someone as an incarnation of God, he should be thoroughly verified according to the Shastras. So Brahma says that he recognizes Prithu as incarnation of God by seeing the signs in his body. So this indicates Prithu Maharaj's divine mission to uphold righteousness and protect the people. Now, um, now comes text 11 and 12. So now, the sages who were present there, like the learned Brahmanas who were present in that place, they were very attached to the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. So they arranged for king's coronation. No? So now the coronation ceremony is happening. So the Brahmanas, they are arranging for the king's coronation. Now what happens when such celebrations are happening, everyone gather in one place. So people from all direction, they collected all kind of different paraphernalia for the ceremony. Thus, now everything was complete. Now all the rivers, the seas, hills, mountains, cows, birds, animals, heavenly planets, and all other living entities, they collected various presentation according to their ability to offer the king. So it is a custom that whenever there is a celebration, people gather and honor the person by giving him gifts. So this is what is happening here also. So the coronation of King Prithu was celebrated with great enthusiasm. And all it happened by commemorating all kind of chanting mantras, and heavenly musicians were playing, and everyone had gathered there with gifts whichever were supposed to give according to their own capability. Okay. Now from text 13. They are coronated. Now we will see this King Prithu and his wife Archie. They are um, beautifully dressed with glittering garments and ornaments, and they were coronated and placed on the throne. So they were looking so beautiful, both of them sitting on the throne. They're looking very effulgent, like with their glittering garments and ornaments. They were looking effulgent. So together they were looking like blazing fire. So now from text 14 to text 22, there is a description of what all gifts Prithu Maharaj gets from the demigods and the heavenly denizens who had gathered there for his coronation. So all these verses doesn't have any purports or anything. It just gives the description of whatever, like innumerable gifts he had got from all the demigods, and they were all very special gifts. So this just description of whatever gifts he had gathered. Where he got from different personalities who were present there. So I'll just read that out for you. There are 2, 3 special gifts also, which has a little more descriptions as well, right? First, Vidura. I'm sorry, first Kuvera, no, he presented Prithu with a golden throne. So the throne where Prithu Maharaj and Goddess of Fortune Archie was sitting, that golden throne was presented by the Lord of the Wealth, Kuvera himself. And Varuna presented him with an umbrella that constantly sprayed fine particles of water, and it was as brilliant as a moon. So Varuna, who is again a demigod, he gave him an umbrella. Now, Vayu, the demigod of air, he presented King Prithu with two chamaras. And Dharma, Lord Dharma presented him with a flower garland which would expand his fame. So that the flower garland was not also a simple one. It was something which will expand his fame and name everywhere. And the Indra, who was the king of heaven, he presented him with a valuable helmet. And Yamaraja, who is the god of death, he presented him with a scepter with which he has to rule the world. Okay, and Lord Brahma presented King Prithu with a protective garment made of spiritual knowledge. So he got a he got a garment from Lord Brahma, and it was a protective garment which was made of the spiritual knowledge. So that again signifies that your protection is always from the spiritual source. If you are knowledgeable in spirituality, that itself can become your protection, right? Then Brahma's wife Saraswati, she gave him a transcendental necklace. And Lord Vishnu presented him with Sudarshana disc. And Lord Vishnu's wife, goddess of fortune, she gave him imperishable opulence. Okay, so we were telling that Lakshmi Devi is Chanchala. No, she doesn't stay in one place. She will be stable in a place where Lord Vishnu is honored and served, right? So she is gifting King Prithu with imperishable opulence. Imperishable in the sense it never gets over, no? So such opulence she is gifting to King Prithu. And see, all the demigods, they presented various gifts to King Prithu. Hari, an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead known as Upendra in the heavenly planet, presented the king with Sudarshana disc. Okay, so here is described that Vishnu presented him the Sudarshana disc. Okay, so it's not the it should be understood that the Sudarshana disc is not exactly the same type of Sudarshana disc used by the personality of Godhead himself. Since Maharaja Prithu was the partial representation of Supreme Personality of Godhead's power, the Sudarshana disc given to him also represented the partial power of the original Sudarshana disc. Okay, so it is not the original Sudarshana disc, but it had the partial power of the Sudarshana disc. Then comes Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva presented him with a sword within a sheath. Sheath is the cover of the sword, marked with 10 moons. And his wife, goddess Durga, she presented him with a shield marked with 100 moons. And the moon demigod presented him with horses made of nectar. And Vishwakarma gifted him a beautiful chariot which will take him anywhere he wants to go. And fire god Agni, he presented him with a bow made of horns of goat and cows. And sun god presented him with arrows, which was as brilliant as sunshine. And the predominating deity of Bhurloka presented him with slippers which had mystical power. Okay. And the demigods from the outer space, they brought in presentation of flowers again and again. So here in this word, it is described that the king's slippers, okay, what was presented to him, were invested with some kind of mystic powers. So thus, as soon as king placed his feet in the slippers, they would immediately carry him wherever he desired. Okay, so it is like the mystic yogis can transfer themselves from one place to another whenever they desire. So a similar power was invested in the slippers of King Prithu. Okay, so this, I think this would be a perfect gift for no Bangaloreans, with this kind of chaotic traffic what we are having. If we get it as a New Year gift, a slipper like this, which is invested with mystic powers. The minute you wear it, you reach the place where you want to go. So these were the special gifts received by Prithu Maharaj. Um, Okay, and there is more. Like the demigods who always travel in outer space gave King Prithu the arts. He was bestowed with these arts to perform dramas, to sing songs, and to play musical instrument. And also they gave him the power to disappear at his will. So whenever he wanted, he was able to disappear at his will. So these are the kind of gifts, which is not easily uh, uh, acquired by any simple create living beings, right? The great sages also, they offered him infallible blessings, right? The ocean offered him conscience produced from the ocean, and again the seas, mountains, rivers gave him room to drive the chariot without any impediments. And finally, um, they were these bards. Bards are the professional reciters who sings the praise of the Kshatriyas or the rulers, the kings. Okay, so there were three professional bards who were present there. Their name is Suta, Magadha, and Vandi. Okay, so these Suta, Magadha, and Vandi were present there, and they offered prayers and praises to King Prithu. They all presented themselves before him to perform their respective duties. So that was their profession, to sing praises of the king. So they were doing that. No, he has just advented. King Prithu has just advented. He has not done anything. No, they are just seeing him for the first time, but they are singing his glories. Know what he can do. So now, when this great really powerful King Prithu, the son of Vena, saw the professionals before him to congratulate them. He smiled at them, and then he begins to give a speech. Okay. So now if you see the coronation ceremony, his coronation was celebrated with great enthusiasm by all the demigods and whoever the heavenly denizens were present there. It was celebrated with great warmth. Okay, and everyone gathered there to honor him and gifted him, and he got so many mystical gifts from everyone. Okay, so this again shows how the world welcomes a righteous king who upholds dharma. Right now, the last three verses. Okay, the last three verses we see that before that, no, I told you that these professional reciters, they are singing the praises of Lord. Singing the praises of King Prithu, right? And in the last three verses, we see that King Prithu is giving a speech for the first time. No, here we will focus on the qualities of King Prithu. Okay, what kind of qualities he displayed? What are the qualities a actual king should display? So we will see what all the qualities he displayed. Now, here, okay, this slide is about the divine gifts and recognition. I've just mentioned one or two gifts here, okay? Then, so through the speeches of Prithu Maharaj, we come to know how humble he was, okay? Fine. So now, like that, so many personalities offered so many gifts and presentation to Prithu Maharaj on this auspicious occasion of his appearance and coronation. So Prithu Maharaj, he was already a grown-up man. No, he was he was ready to rule. He was ready to take up responsibility. He appeared along with his wife. It is not that he appeared uh, as a baby or a small child. No, he grew up and then married someone. He appeared along with his consort and he was ready for the coronation, and he was coronated, and he was also ready to rule. So now we'll see these bards, that is the professional reciters, they started glorifying Prithu Maharaj. And he is giving a speech. So first we will see what the glorification, what these people are giving. Okay. So after listening to this reciters, Prithu Maharaj is responding by telling that you are glorifying of me for my good qualities. They actually don't know what are his good qualities are, but since it is their profession, they are glorifying him for his good qualities and good activities. But Prithu Maharaj is telling that, see, I have just appeared and I have not manifested these good qualities yet. Okay, I have not even begun. Okay, and it's not very good of you to do this to me. You cannot sing my glories even without knowing me, what I am, how I am. Okay, so what happens in future if I don't manifest these qualities, and if I don't do these activities, I mean the good activities, what you were singing about, then your glorification will become a false glorification. So he's telling that I don't want that to happen. So people, please don't do that. So this kind of praise is not proper. In fact, I'm not yet famous. No, Prithu, the word, so he's telling that I'm not famous yet. No, I have just appeared, and it is not just on your part to glorify me about my activities. So he's telling that I have just appeared and I have not yet begun my activities. And before I became famous, if you start offering me, no, prayers and praises as a famous personality, it actually doesn't befit. Okay, and even in future, even after I is telling that even after I manifest all these qualities and activities, then you can glorify me. But then also you should glorify me only in my absence, so not in my presence. So that is one quality what we see about Prithu Maharaj is telling that you can glorify me. Okay, maybe in future I may manifest the qualities what you were praising about me. So at that time, okay, there are possibilities that you can praise about my activities, and that too how? Not in my presence, but in my absence, right? So, and he also tells that in a great assembly like this, where great personalities are present, like Brahma, Lord Shiva, and so many other Brahmanas and sages and Devatas have assembled in this assembly, and you're supposed, in this kind of assembly where a lot of great personalities are present, no, it is not at all right on your part to glorify me. You are actually supposed to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna or Vishnu, not a person like me. So that again shows the modesty of Prithu Maharaj. So Prithu Maharaj is so modest. He's so humble. No, he, instead of becoming puffed up of the position as a great king like Vena, no, we see different qualities of a king, no, from Vena and from it. You can either take as Anga Maharaj or Prithu Maharaj. Their qualities, that is completely opposite. King Vena, he didn't become puffed up of his position as a great king. Instead of being so proud, after receiving so many presentations from different universal celebrities, including Lord Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, etc., Prithu was so humble, he was so meek, so modest. He says that I don't deserve this glorification. You should worship the Supreme Lord. So this again tells that King Prithu is a pure devotee of the Lord. So uh, um, as an ideal devotee, he is exhibiting humility that is very much compatible with the devotee's character. No, a devotee is not very eager to glorify himself. Okay, so how a devotee should be? A devotee is Trinatapi Sunichena Tarurapi Sahishnana Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadari. How a devotee should be? He should be humbler than a blade of grass. He should be more tolerant than a tree, right? and he should not expect any honor or respect for oneself. No, that is so these kind of qualities, you can see that King Prithu is displaying these kind of quality, his humility, modesty, being humble. No, all these qualities are shown, by this particular speech what he gives to the bards of to the professional reciters who were glorifying him. So that is the nature of a devotee. And such a devotee can easily chant the holy name of the Lord, Kirtaniya Sadahari. So if one devotee has these four qualities, he'll be able to chant the holy names of the Lord. So Prithu Maharaj, he exhibited such beautiful character, an ideal character here. And seeing his humility, these bards, who was called as the Sutta Magada, and one day they that's a title actually given to them, the bards. So the people became more and more inspired to appreciate and glorify and praise Prithu Maharaj qualities, seeing this humility. So Prithu Maharaj says, no, 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 don't glorify me. But these people say, no, because you're so humble, we feel like glorifying you more. Okay. So, and on top of it, the seers and brahmanas who were present there, they were encouraging these professional bards to glorify him. So, he's not ready to take the glorification. So, that is how his qualities are displayed there. So, even praised by the sages and bard, he stayed humble. He did not accept any kind of exaggerated compliments from these reciters. So, an exalted personality, he should be humble, even if capable of, he's capable of any kind of greatness. So, what the spiritual principle we see here is the humility. It is the hallmark of a true and devotional leader. Okay. So, the next slide talks about the key teachings, the spiritual themes. Okay, that is, first is dharma and kingship. So here we see that Vena, he represents adharma. No, and we also see that his downfall, the downfall of Vena, is a reminder that rulers must uphold dharma. Okay, if the righteous ruler doesn't uphold dharma, then it will become a way for his downfall. So Vena, he represents dharma, and adharma. Vena represents adharma, and Prithu Maharaj represents dharma. His the advent of King Prithu, it symbolizes divine intervention to restore balance in the universe. And his actions also embodies the ideal selfless and a righteous king. So a righteous rule will protect the citizens, and it will not only protect the citizen, but it will also support their spiritual life. Okay, so that's why kings in that time, they were called as Raja Rishis. They were spiritually they were well to do also. So, and the second quality what we see is he should be humble, and he should be devoted, and he should be service oriented. So the divine purpose, what we see in this particular chapters are that avatars appear when the Lord needs, when the world needs the protection of dharma. Okay, and Prithu Maharaj, he embodies this principle in this particular chapter. Now, lessons for today. First is personal leadership. A true leadership is service, not pride. And then comes devotion and humility. Even powerful individuals should be devoted and be humble. And the spiritual purpose is life's highest goal is righteousness and spiritual awakening. No, no. Before going to the conclusion, so true leadership is service, not pride. So I would like to see, we actually had an opportunity to hear Gaurang Darshan Prabhu yesterday, day before yesterday. He gave us a class on leadership skills, leadership qualities. I think it's one of the most simplified version of leadership skills what I had ever heard. No, so he was giving us some excellent points. Who is a perfect leader. I would like to share few points in that also. So first thing what he gave us, he told that the leaders should have certain qualities. What's the time? I think there is time. Okay. Leaders should have certain qualities. The first thing what he told us was a leader should have integrity. So what is integrity? That is, even if nobody is watching us, still our motives and actions should be clear. That is integrity, which means that you preach what you practice. Okay, so a leader should have this quality first. And even though you are in a leadership position, there will be some time where you make mistakes. So even though if you're making mistakes, a leader should have the honesty to admit his shortcomings. No, so that is another quality of the leader what he gave them. Honesty. A leader should be honest, and he should be able to admit his mistake and apologize and rectify the mistakes, and not justify his mistakes. So this is one more point we got. And the foremost quality of the leader is that he has no desire to be a leader. So one who has no desire to be a leader will become the best leader, because sometimes when we get these big positions, we like to keep ourselves attached to that position all the time, right? So he told that one who has no desire to be a leader will become the best leader, and he should always cultivate this quality of humility. So what is humility? So he told there is a definition and multiple facets of humanity. One aspect of humanity, what he told was, he should think, like, again, no, it again goes back to that Srinatapi Sunichenataru Rapi Sahishnuna. No, we should always consider ourselves inferior. That is one quality of a great leader. You should think that every single being is better than me. I am not greater than anybody, right? So this is the mood of a Vaishnava. So that humble mood of a Vaishnava should be there in that leader. And what is it? You should think that everybody is better than me, and I am not greater than anyone. No, so that is one more quality. Then you have to take leadership roles as service. So he told that the servant leader will survive. And he also gave us beautiful comparison of, he made us easily understand how a mother is a great leader. Leadership is parenting. Uh, and he was giving us a description on how Mother Yashoda, how she was teaching little Krishna to be independent. Through those examples, he was giving us information on how a leader has to slowly delegate work to his followers and then empower them. So this mother is the leader of a small child. Now we have to empower people to accept leadership position, and the success of a leader is how many successes that he has created. So leader should prepare some successes after him. Leader should create some people, or at least train some people who can carry or continue that legacy. So the success of leader is in creating future leaders. So that is also another point. And when he told about that leadership is like parenting, and how he gave us examples of Yashoda Maya training Krishna, like how when he was crawling, she's helping him to walk by holding his hands, and then she used to keep little Krishna's feet on her feet and make him walk, and slowly no, she just holds on to his hands and then make him walk, and slowly she removes the hand and gives her fingers to support him. So holding the finger, he walks, and slowly that is also removed, and then she sees to it that he walks on his own. So this is how a leader should slowly, by looking at his successors who are capable of certain work, certain duties, he should slowly delegate work to those people and slowly empower them to become successful leaders in future. So those were a few points which was noted down. But I somehow felt, that was a very simple version of making us understand what a leader should be, being honest, having humility, being modest, and having the attitude to accept his shortcomings, and who is even ready to apologize for his mistakes. And he should, and one more point, what he stressed on was that he should always have an view of eagle eye. A leader should have always have an view of an eagle. I mean, like, he should see things from the top, okay, rather than working in the ground level. Things are more clear from a larger point of view. So these were some points which was shared by Prabhu. I thought, it will be good if I share it in this class as well. So, okay, so there ends chapter 15. So in conclusion, I've just given a small summary here. King Prithu, he was a divine incarnation who restored righteousness. His birth, his coronation, and his conduct teach spiritual and ethical values. And this chapter particularly inspires leaders and seekers to live with humility and devotion. So the core message, what we get from this particular chapter, is that a life which is dedicated to service and righteousness, it not only uplifts the individual, but also uh, it will give welfare to the society as a whole. Okay. And see this glorification of King Prithu, it will again, um, it will continue in chapter 16 also. So these people, these bards are trying to glorify him, and king is restricting not to do so. But because of his humility, the bards are, they are getting an impetus to glorify him more and more. So in the coming chapters, you will see that King Prithu is being compared to many people in his service, and how the glorification happens, and what Prithu Maharaj does, okay, how he revives earth, and there are so many other information in the coming chapters. So there ends chapter 15. So I think I will end here. If there are any comments, I think you can.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam Mataji. Thank you for the wonderful session. Though it is a very descriptive chapter about Prithu Maharaj and his wife appearance, and it doesn't have much like philosophical or story, but it was a great session about leadership, how one has to dedicatedly serve, and one has to be very upfront and true to his nature. And the last part, like 15 minutes, what you gave about synopsis of about leadership from Gaurang Darshan Prabhu's session, they were just amazing, Mataji. Thank you very much for this session.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Very nice, smoothing class, Mataji. I bit joined late actually, but I missed beginning part. But as you deliver the class is so smoothing, these qualities reflect on your character also, Mataji. That how the leader is very beautiful. Like rightly said by Soumya Prabhuji. So one question also, Mataji, how that Prithu Maharaj, being a king, he's a leader, and same simultaneously he uplifting his spiritual that service also, devotional service also. So how we can do our duties with the uh, household duties with spiritual things, how we can cultivate some qualities? Can you give some tips or balance our life?
Okay. You're asking how to balance your
Yeah.
material and spiritual life, right?
Yes. Yes.
Ji? I think
Yes.
that is
Yes.
one
Mataji.
aspect where every one of us suffer from, no, balancing your spiritual and material life. I think in my own personal experience is that, mm, see, you should keep Krishna as center of your life. Okay, so all the activities, what you do should revolve around the Lord. And you should remember the Lord always. So that is how our system has taught us, waking up early in the morning, chanting, reading the glories of the Lord, and hearing from the sadhus, and doing deity services, cooking for the Lord. So all our activities should be centered to Krishna. So in that way, you'll be able to remember him um, always. And it doesn't matter that, okay, your material duties are also there. No, there is a big call for the material things also. But if you are remembering the Lord in whatever you are doing, I think the balance becomes quite easy. No, so the whole day you're able to remember the Lord, and you're serving Him with love. No, so hearing is very important. Sadhu Sangha is very important. Hearing of Bhagavatam is very, very important. So Prabhupada itself, in one of his purports, he tells that even every book in this whole universe vanquishes also. If one Bhagavatam is there, then it will, the society won't be doomed. Right. So we should keep Krishna in our mind always by doing all such services, taking up services. Whenever there is an opportunity to hear, make use of it. Whenever there is an opportunity for service, grab onto it. Mm, and especially for women at home, I think doing the deity services, cooking for the Lord, hearing while cooking. So like this, always we can be in the smaran of Krishna. So that is what I would like to tell. If anything else is there to add, if anyone wants to add to that particular question, you can.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And see, so many times we do sevas in temple or like any responsibility given by our leaders or something. Na? So we
Mm.
always immerse in that service. I feel like that key we forget our personal relation with God. That is also a service, but sometimes we need some space to be with
Like
God. Some we forget every time.
yes, you
So
can have
yeah.
personal time with the Lord. Your prayer time is, your chanting is your personal time with the Lord. So if you're very conscious while chanting, no, that is, I think, the actual personal time with God, what you are giving.
Actually, personal time, chanting time only, that all planning is going on. This we have to do, this service we have to
Yes.
do.
Yes, yes. No, there's a lot of distraction. Our mind is conditioned like that. No, see, it is told that our mind is treasure house of so many thoughts and so many things which has happened to us in our past lives also. So that's the reason it is told that it is not very easy to conquer the mind, right? Um, so that will be there, but you should consciously bring back your mind um, mm, to that position where no, you are not distracted. And it's very easy to tell, but even I suffer from that. I get distracted while chanting. No, we do. I mean, at times no, I'll be doing my work in chanting, taking and keeping up the vessels in its place, and with one hand I'll be cleaning, one hand I'll be chanting. So that all happens. So, but personal time with the Lord, I think you have to dedicate it separately, right? So when there is a guest in your house, it's not that you're getting distracted, how they feel. If there is a special guest in your house and you are, looking into your phone, or you're not bothered about what is going on, how do they feel? So it is same with the Lord also. So when you are chanting, that is your personal time with the Lord. So I think
Yeah,
that is a quality what every one of us have to, um,
yeah,
take up. That is a constant fight. I think you have to, uh, I mean, train your mind to be conscious always.
yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji, for a wonderful teachings, and this is a new year, so wishing everyone a very happy Krishna conscious new year. With some vows we can take up and be
Yes.
in Krishna conscious attentively. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Dandavat
Thank
pranam.
you. Yes, Dandavad.
Thank you, Mataji, for a wonderful session.
Thank you.
Mataji, I always believe that we could learn things from the bad personality as well and good personality as well. Like the
Yes.
bad personality, we are out we are not supposed to be,
Mm.
and from the good personalities, how we are supposed to be. Like in this particular topic, you just covered that Vena and uh, um, Prithu Maharaj.
Mm.
Vena, we are how we are not supposed to be, and Prithu Maharaj, how he is very humiliate, especially when that every demigod is appreciating them. He says that I'm not yet started anything like that. But
Mm.
generally, we are just feeling like small things on those we are doing that we are feeling like that I did
Really
great.
good.
So yeah, that those kind of qualities were rightly explained, and you rightly connected that Gaurang Darshandas leadership qualities session as well here. So yeah, wonderful session, Mother. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, no, we can learn from the bad people also and the good people, but you should take it in the right sense, no? Only one quality of Vena, what we see was, since he was a very terrifying person, the criminals were at bay during his, rule. No, that was the only good thing which had happened. No, so the moment he died, the criminals, started coming up. So I think even if we are assessing people, those who are having bad qualities or good qualities also, you should take it in a right sense. No, whatever is not necessary, we should always avoid. Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you so much for wonderful session.
Thank you.
I was just relating it to one thing which you were saying about, qualities of leadership, and I think Nitaya Mataji's question and how to keep the balance in the leadership, balance between the what we do and how to this thing. I think there's important thing which, at least whatever limited experience I have, is that uh, those qualities we need to consciously work upon. I think most of time what we do is that we do sadhana in a very monotonous way, and we'll get up, we'll do, and we just like want to fill our sadhana sheet that okay, I've done this for today, chanting is done, reading is done, hearing is done, and but the real change is going to come when we are doing the things consciously. And um, as Manibhushan Prabhu was saying, that those qualities which uh, we can learn from those people which we should not have. So identifying ourselves or taking the feedback from others, and then consciously working upon them. One of the thing I think, since we are talking about leadership here in the spiritual terms, so as when we grow, then we have the tendency that we just get carried away by, because it's like familiarity breed contempt. So after so many years in bhakti also becomes like okay, we are doing it every day. So but unless and until those all the qualities which like Lord Krishna mentions in 12th chapter Bhagavad Gita, so like that at many places in Bhagavatam as well. So unless that, like for example, you were talking about humility of Prithu Maharaj. So many a times we get praised for our good qualities, and then we get, from inside we feel very happy. At least I feel. I don't know about you all. So we should know that these are all mercy of Krishna, mercy of Prabhupada, mercy of Guru, that we have. Like in material life, nobody bothers to appreciate us anyway, unless they get something in return. But the spiritual life, the biggest, I would say, advantage as well as the drawback is that we get appreciated for each and everything, for whatever we do. And So being leader, I think it is a wonderful, conscious effort should be there to, because we are there responsible for so many souls who are depending on us. So our conduct, this thing is going to impact in a very subtle way. Many a times our actions impact very negatively, and we don't even realize that. Most of us don't realize that, our negative actions are impacting others. Sometimes people leave the moment. I remember one of the instances where one of the devotee was coming to my Bhakti Vriksha, and I had reached a considerable level of 16 rounds and all that. And once in temple, some of the leader spoke to him very rudely about some prasadam issue. And from that day onwards, he just got so hurt, and he just left ISKCON. And to me, after much pushing, I came to know that this was he didn't share, but through other sources I came to know. And then to me it looked like a very small incident, because while doing services we all get pressurized, and we speak to sometimes to very, in a very rudely way of something, which is a very, very normal thing while doing services, because that time we are in so much in pressure. But that one incident, just changed the life of somebody. So, so it's very, we need to be very, very cautious that these qualities are not just artificially there, because as soon as the pressure points come, they will come out. So those qualities should be there. In reality, we should start practicing those qualities. And then only spiritual life, success of spiritual life will be there, because otherwise our spiritual qualities will become all these, artificial qualities, what we try to show the world, then they will become the roadblock in our progress in spiritual lives. So all the devotees who are here, and specifically I would like to emphasize on this point that in this new year, let's make a resolution as a community that we will try to imbibe those qualities which Krishna is expecting, which senior devotees are expecting from us, which Prabhupada is expecting. And they have shown it. We see by the life of Prabhupada, we see by the life of our spiritual masters, all sannyasis of ISKCON or senior leaders of ISKCON, that how they, they conduct themselves. So unless that internal change we are not working upon, then it's going to be a very, very difficult to achieve the goal of, this human life, which is going back to Godhead, because these are the qualities which will take us back, not our knowledge, or which given our classes we impart to others. So so it was just one of the point which I took from your session, Mataji, and just I thought very, very inspiring session. Hopefully we all learn all these qualities which you were saying from Prithu Maharaj's life, and we become good devotees, and we are able to inspire others by our good qualities. So we, as a community, we should pray to the Supreme Lord on this new year. Then please bless us to just not be a theoretical devotee. We should be a practical devotee, a real devotee with the real heart of what all these great personalities like Dhruv Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, all those qualities which they have shown us, that in reality we are able to imbibe those qualities within ourselves. Thank you once again, Mataji, for a wonderful session.
Thank you. I would also like to share one more incident. I was listening to one of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's class about humility. He was telling that a lot of thing matters in the tone how we speak also. You were telling that sometimes we are in service and we are pressurized, and the evil just spurts out of our mouth in a very wrong tone. So sometimes the tone also matters. Maybe you can get to the point, but in a very subtle tone. He was he was sharing where a Mataji had just joined ISKCON. I mean, she had started coming to temple, attending the Mangalatis and services and things like that. But we're not following all the 4 regulative principles or anything. They were still meat eaters. But they were showing a lot of inclination towards bhakti. So one day she walked into the temple and a flower seva for the Lord was going on. No, they were making garlands for the Lord, and she wanted to accompany those people. But no, see, we know that a lot of purity is required when you are in direct service of the Lord. But she was unaware of it, and from her heart she wanted to do that service, and she came, sat there. But one senior Mataji came there, and she just lashed at her, telling that are you following the rules? Do you have onion, garlic, and all such things? And it actually made her cry, and she ran out of the temple. And then slowly other senior devotees, they just spoke to her and made her realize. So sometimes the tone also matters, even if you are maybe informing the person about what you're supposed to do, not supposed to do. Your tone matters a lot. But they were brought back. Now he told, now both she and her husband are initiated devotees. So that again matters. Humility is not just it should be inbuilt. Most of the time we tell that we are soft, but at times when we are pressurized, the evil in us comes out, and comes out as something bad and harsh. So I think that can be
Yes, very
taken
nice.
care.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Sorry for breaking.
No. Yes, Prabhu. I don't want to interrupt. I was telling that can be taken care, at least by taking care of our tone. The same things can be, same messages can be put across in a very pleasing tone.
Yes. I remember once, I'm sorry, I don't think it is a session of cribbing about what is happening in ISKCON, but I just remember another incident where, some devotee was called for Janmashtami Seva in one of our circle programs, and they became a little late, and then they were blasted, why you came late, and you should know this is this thing, and so unless and until those qualities will try to imbibe in ourselves naturally, and pressure points will react in that way. So I think if the challenge for us becomes is that whatever material life requires us to be a little bit, sometimes harsh, but and spiritual life requires us to be humble. But as Mataji was saying, that communicating we can still communicate our point without hurting, without in a very humble ways, soft way. That yes, this is humble. Being humble doesn't mean that we can be crushed over by everybody, but being humble, we can be assertive at the same time, not being rude. So, like Prithu Maharaj is saying that I'm not qualified to, this thing, take all these appreciations and this thing. So that feeling, Mataji, when you were saying that, it should come from heart that yes, I'm really not qualified. If you see Narottam Das Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they all are writing, we are nothing, we don't know anything, we are like so fallen. Do you think they are fallen? They are not, but they accept that we are not. So bhakti is not just being externals. This thing, a lot of internals need to work upon by all of us, and then only the real change will come. And that's tough because we all have conditioned, we have svabhava. To come out of that is not easy. But I think if we put continuous effort and being fully dependent on Krishna and spiritual master, I think we can bring some change in us. Okay, I think a lot of discussion went on. Soumya Prabhu, would like to make any closing comments?
Yes, Prabhu. So I think we can announce about tomorrow's seva.
So one more thing to show our humility is tomorrow's seva. Plate washing seva, which requires a lot of physical lot of physical strength is required. At the same time, that pressure point will be there. So let's see how we are able to display our humility tomorrow. So please participate with enthusiasm tomorrow. So it's the first seva of the new year. Of course, we did one seva, prasadam serving on first, but really as a circle seva, we are doing it tomorrow. So since as it's a little pressurizing seva, physically also it's training seva.